A patient's family accused me of stealing their dying mother's jewelry. The security footage revealed something that destroyed them. I'm doing rounds at the hospital where I work at 2 in the morning when a patient's monitor starts beeping erratically. She's 78, stage 4 cancer, been declining all week. Her family left at 8 last night saying they'd be back in the morning, and I remember thinking that's cutting it close. But families always think they have more time than they do. I'm checking her vitals when her eyes open and she looks right at me asking, "Where's my daughter?" My chest tightens as I take her hand, telling her that her daughter will be here soon, even though I know that's probably not true. She squeezes my fingers with what little strength she has left and dies at 2:47 a.m. I do the post-mortem care the way I always do, which means closing her eyes, removing the jewelry, logging every piece in the book with the time and my initials, locking it all in the hospital safe. 7 a.m. hits and I'm finishing my charting when the daughter and son of the patient burst through the unit doors already screaming about, "Where's their mother's jewelry?" They're in my face immediately with the daughter yelling, "Where is it?" I try explaining they're simply in the safe, but she cuts me off screaming, "You're lying. All that's in there is a plastic ring and a fake emerald necklace." She had more that was real. The son's already on his phone calling the police and the daughter's shouting, "Thief," loud enough that every nurse on the floor stops and stares. Security shows up and I have to stand there in the middle of the hallway while they search my pockets. The other nurses are watching from the station whispering to each other. They go through my bag dumping everything on the counter and my voice cracks when I try to explain I didn't do anything wrong. The son demands I get arrested right now and my supervisor appears looking horrified. I'm sweating through my scrubs and my heart's pounding so hard I think I might throw up right there. I show them the logbook but the daughter slaps it out of my hands yelling, "She wrote that after she stole them." I look around and realize nobody believes me. I've worked for this hospital for 8 years with a perfect record. However, when my head manager pulls me into her office, she says, "We have to take this accusation seriously. You're suspended pending investigation." I feel an anxiety attack well up inside me because suspended means no paycheck and we just made my fiance and I just made our first mortgage payment. My fiance tries to be supportive but I can see the worry in his eyes when he asks, "What if they press charges?" My friend who's a lawyer calls saying, "This could go to court if they push it. You need to be prepared for that." My fiance's mom visits us and I overhear her telling him, "I told you she'd be trouble. That Jade girl is still single." That's when I realize even people who know me are starting to doubt. I'm struggling to sleep and living off of savings when the hospital admin calls, hinting they might have to press charges themselves for reputation damage if this goes public. Then my phone rings and it's a friend of mine from the hospital admin saying, "The family will be there tomorrow when the cops review the security footage. I thought you might want to be there." My stomach fills with butterflies as I realize I might finally be free of this entire problem. I show up at the hospital and see everyone gathered in the security office. The daughter and son are there, plus hospital admin and 2 police officers. The security guard looks uncomfortable as he says, "We're going to show you the footage from 7:45 p.m. and everyone turns to watch the screen. The footage shows the daughter walking into her mother's room alone. She leans over the bed, removing her mother's jewelry, first the earrings, then she bends her mother's unconscious body over to reach the clasp of the necklace, only to replace it with a cheap-looking copy. As she steals the real ring off of her mother's finger, she says, "You won't need these anymore. Might as well take them now before someone else does." And then she just leaves. My hands start shaking so bad I have to grab the door frame to steady myself. The admin asks, "Where's the jewelry now?" And the daughter goes completely pale, stammering, "I just didn't want it to get lost." But her voice is cracking and she can't even look at anyone. The sound of the alarm monitor going off draws everyone's attention back to the footage. Everyone sees me rushing into the room. Everyone watches as I take her hand, talking softly saying, "You're not alone, and your children love you so much." We all hear her whisper, "Thank you for being here." Then she passes away. The police immediately turn to the daughter about filing a false report and theft from a patient. The daughter breaks down completely saying, "I just needed the money and thought she'd already passed." But nobody's listening to her excuses anymore. Hospital administration is apologizing to me profusely, offering extra compensation for the suspension and emotional distress. I look at both the daughter and son and say, "She asked for you and she died thinking you'd come back, so I lied and told her you were just getting coffee." The daughter starts sobbing even harder and the son can't even look at me. I grab my things from my locker and go home.